Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, do you want us to continue or it's all okay?
Mataji has joined, Prabhu.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Haribol, thank you, Prabhu, and thank you for the children. Ashutosh Bhavish, very nice Kirtan. Maybe you can do just the holy name maybe a few times. Just checking few things. Is that okay, Rasana, Prabhu?
Yes, Mati, we'll. So you want us to do some more Kirtan, Mati, the holy name?
Yeah, 5 minutes probably.
No problem, Mati.
Thank you, Prabhu.
నాని ఇది బ్రేక్ అయి ఉన్నది.
కృష్ణ కృష్ణ హరే 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 రామ హరే రామ 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 హరే హరే Hare Hare Hare
Hi, Haribol. Wonderful, Ashutosh, Bhavish, Rasana Prabhu. Thank you. Hari Bol. Wonderful, very nice. Is the video clear?
Yes, Mother, is clear.
So we welcome all the devotees for today's Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Of course, because Janmashtami is coming up now, we will talk few words about Janmashtami and for this session. In fact, it's a 3-day festival, so that's why in the flyer you would have seen before day, on the day, next day. So basically, it's a 3 days celebration. We may be surprised that we know only Janmashtami day. Of course, we may know the second day, which is Nanda Utsav and also Srila Prabhupada appearance day. But what is that on the previous day? So, so why this all 3 days important, especially last but not the least, a very important day. So we will see that depending on how the time goes. We'll offer our prayers before we begin. Yeah. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurun Militam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapatantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatade Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Karori Vachalam Bangum Langaite Girim Ekripatamaham Mande Shri Gurum Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Okay, so Janmashtami Mahamahotsav ki jai. So, coming 19th is Sri Janmashtami festival, and the previous day, which is 18th, we celebrate it as a Adivas of Janmashtami. Prabhu, is audio clear, Prabhu? You're able to hear me?
Yes, Mataji, it's
Yeah.
clear. You can hear.
So, the previous day is Adivas, which is the day which we, kind of meditate on the next day festival, prepare our consciousness for the next day festival. That is a Janmashtami festival. So it's important the previous evening also, the previous day also. In fact, say for example, if someone's birthday is very close to our heart, what we do, we actually think about the person, maybe a month before, or even few months back before, and then what we do, what they like, how are we going to, celebrate this birthday. Say for example, if it is a mother and a child, So how am I going to arrange the birthday party? Nowadays, many themes are there. So how to make it more Krishna conscious, and also what blessings a child can get. So many things, we meditate. So similarly, any relationship which is very close, it's not that on the day when comes, then we think what to do for that person. We think in advance. Maybe some people are like that, but generally it is not so. That we think in advance, and so much meditation goes. What we can do, what we can buy. It may depend on each individual, but definitely this point of what we can do for that individual. So if that is the case in all our material relationship, what to speak about Krishna? But why in our material relationship it spontaneously comes? So no one is to come and tell a mother, you remember, your child's birthday, so what you're going to get, what color dress he's going to wear, and how is the birthday party is going to be. Is someone has to come and remind the mother, or what? The mother naturally remembers. It's a natural love for the child that she remembers, and then she thinks what she can do, a father or a mother, anything, anyone. So, but in the case of Krishna, it's not so spontaneous, because we have not developed that natural love for him. That's why it is said that the pure devotees, they spontaneously remember Krishna. And they always think, oh, Krishna's appearance, it's all the time. They think what they can do for Krishna, how to serve Krishna. It's not just on the Janmashtami day alone. But on the day of Janmashtami, even more, they will be so much filled with love that Krishna appeared for all of us. The Lord took so much. He don't have to come, but he came down just to, rescue all the fallen conditioned souls, to reciprocate with his loving devotees. So their love gets more and more deep. When they think about it, they feel overwhelmed with devotional emotions, filled with that ecstasy. When they think how the Lord is so wonderful, and that he has come out of love, he has come out of compassion for the living entities. So that is the mood of pure devotees. But at the same time, being the sadhakas or the practitioners, though we do not have a spontaneous love for Krishna, we may even think, like what can we do for the festival? Yes, of course, that is there, but not in a completely pure form. So what can we do? So how do we kind of, prepare our consciousness or plan, for the festival? So as we all know that we are sadhana siddhas, that means not sadhana siddhas, we are kripa siddhas, but we are also sadhaka. Sadhakas means by we perform sadhana. First we do sadhana bhakti, and by sadhana bhakti we get purified, our senses gets purified, and then we naturally develop that spontaneous love for Krishna. So for that, since we are sadhana, we are sadhakas basically. It's important that we have to sit and think, make ourselves motivated by hearing about Krishna, hearing many lectures, reading the books. By all this means, we actually try to see that how best I can serve Krishna. So that's why scriptures play an important role. Hearing plays a very important role. So today is like Monday and we have this festival on Friday, and Thursday is the Adivas. So what are we going to do for this Janmashtami? So many of you might have planned already. Okay, I will be going to this temple, or I'll be spending my time like this. Okay, that's very nice. If someone has planned, but even who have already planned can go more deeper. What else we can do on that day, as a family or as an individual. And also we can go into the details of, someone has planned something, we can go into the details of how we are going to do it. So in that way, it becomes a great absorption, a great, nice, wonderful offering for Krishna. So the day before Adivas is a day, it's a kind of a reminder, a day before we are getting ready for the next day festival. But well in advance, we can plan. So we have celebrations, a working day. Some may think of taking a photo, then some may see what I can do So it's nice we can do something in the house also, but it's nice to go to temple possible because the installed deities are there, and then we can do some seva. And then how not only me going, how I can take my whole family, how all the devotees, the Bhakti Vriksha devotees, how we can inspire them. They are our spiritual family, so how we can go together. That's a mood. In Tamil, the Goda Devi, she sings very beautiful songs, in the month of Margasish, they sing this very special song called Tirupavai. So in that, she sings that கூடியிருந்து கூடியிருந்து குளிர்ந்தேலோர் எம்பாவாய். So she says that, she goes and knocks at each door, and then she calls that person outside, the friend. Okay, come on, it's getting late. Let's go and, see the Lord. So she could have just go like that. But here she shows by her own example how the Lord becomes pleased when we take everyone with us together. That's a mood we see in all our acharyas also. We see Prahlad Maharaj when, the Supreme Lord Nashingadev, he personally called, my dear Prahlad, I'm so satisfied. I'm so happy with you. So pleased. Let's go back. What a great chance. What a great opportunity. Will anyone deny that? The Lord is calling and to the Supreme Abode. And here Prahlad Maharaj says, how can I just leave like that and come? My spiritual master, because of his mercy that I've got your darshan, I've got this great moment. It is only by his mercy. How I can be thankless? I need to serve him. And also there are so many conditioned souls who are struggling in this material existence without knowing about you. How can I just leave them and come? So that's the selfless mood of all the pure devotees when we read. Srila Prabhupada left Vrindavan, the comfortable place. When we go to Vrindavan, even for few days, when we are about to leave, we don't want to leave because it's such a wonderful and amazing place. We can feel, even though we are still sadhakas, it's such an amazing place that, leaving Vrindavan, leaving Mayapur Dham, even in our conditional state, we feel so painful. But Srila Prabhupada in his, a liberated personality, a pure devotee, how they can leave such a place. So Prabhupada has to leave that comfortable place, leave the, abode of Lord Shri Krishna, his very life and soul, and then he has to travel and, take all the challenges just for the conditioned souls. This is the mood of all our acharyas. This is the mood of all the pure devotees and the great personalities in our sampradaya. So when we want to go to a temple, when we want to take up and do something in Krishna consciousness, it is not just me alone. It is, we need to see whom else I am going to take to temple today, whom else I am, going to involve and engage in service. That will be very, very pleasing to Krishna, not necessarily family members. Because Vasudeva Kudumbakam, that's what Srila Prabhupada has taught us. Not just my family, that 2 members, 3 members, 4 members, or 5 members. It's a very expanded consciousness of seeing the entire world as one family. So that's what our acharyas have taught us. Today is, in India, we celebrate Independence Day. What is Independence Day? It's not just the Independence Day, means I'm freed from the slavery of the British rule. Is celebrated as Independence Day, right? But what is real independence? Scriptures say that Sarvopadit Vinirmuktam. When one is free from all designations, I belong to this country, I belong to that country, I belong to this caste, and I belong to that nationality, I belong to this language. I am, in this particular group, I am in this particular team, I am this, I am that. All material designations are binding us. We are not still, we have not achieved any freedom still. Maybe we have, India may have got freedom from British rule, or certain countries have got freedom from some other countries, but as an individual, are we free? We are not free. We are actually completely bound by all these material designations. It is binding us so strongly that we are so entangled, so much absorbed into it. And it's very difficult and causing so much of pain for us because of this identification. But the moment we identify that We are servant of Krishna. And these all designations are just temporary designations. So I need to take the designation, but only to serve for that purpose, but not identify truly in that sense. Then we are achieving real freedom. And Srila Prabhupada repeatedly quotes this, in all his many of the lectures. And many of the scriptures also repeatedly we see this word, this lines. Sarvo padit vinit muktam tat paratvena nirmalam. Very amazing. For me personally, the word which convinced me to Krishna consciousness was these two lines. Because when Srila Prabhupada said, you are not an Indian, you are not an American, you are spirit, soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Such an amazing and expanded consciousness that acharyas are teaching us. Because the conditioned soul is always so narrow. It's me only always. I am only in the center, or me in the center, mine, I, me, mine only in the center. Very difficult to put somebody else in the center. Maybe I may say in the lips, but so difficult to put someone truly from heart in the center. In every activity, in every step of our life. If we deeply analyze, it is actually we are keeping ourselves in the center. What to speak about Krishna in the center, that's too far away. So that's why this Janmashtami festival, these festivals are the time to contemplate, okay, how am I going to keep Krishna in the center? I'm always keeping myself in the center. How am I going to keep Krishna in the center? What Krishna has given me in this life? What are the gifts I have received from him? What is this Krishna consciousness has done all for me? What Srila Prabhupada has given for me? We need to sit and contemplate on all this and to count on all the blessings what we have got. If Krishna conscious, I'm not in Krishna conscious, what would have happened? So when we think and contemplate on all these points, we certainly see that I need to do something for Krishna. I need to do something for Srila Prabhupada. So then that Janmashtami and then that Prabhupada appearance day will be so wonderful. And we will think, okay, so much they have given me. How am I going to reciprocate to Krishna? How am I going to reciprocate to Srila Prabhupada with love and devotion? I've received so much. What am I going to give? So in that consciousness, if we think about this festival, it will completely change our consciousness. Oh, what will make Krishna happy? Okay, so many things we can think of. Okay, what are the different offerings I'm going to do, or I can go to temple and assist. What are the different sevas I can assist in the temple? What kind of flowers am I going to go take to Krishna? Because it is mentioned in the scriptures also that when we go to a temple, we should not go empty-handed. We should at least take one flower or one fruit whenever we go. At least one flower or one fruit. No empty-handed going and seeing the Supreme Lord like that. And Krishna is also very pleased. Even patram pushpam phalam toyam. He's not asking in great quantity also. So the thing is that, so how is this Janmashtami? So what are the different services I'm going to go do? Okay, if I'm going to temple, what are the different seva I'm going to do? And who else I can take? Who is a new person I can introduce to Krishna today? Krishna will look at, I've got this new person today, because this soul, all the souls, anyway, we are all part and parcel of Krishna, and every one of us have got our loving relationship with Krishna. Maybe now we are waking up, trying to understand our original position, trying to understand. Still a long way, but there are many who are not understood, or who are not trying to understand also. So those people, we should see that at least we can take them and make them come in front of Krishna, and Krishna will be very, very happy. Oh, you brought another person. In the Vasudeva Kudumbakam, in the big spiritual family, it's just like in a family, say, a father is seeing, many siblings are there, and the eldest child, or, one of the child is looking after all the children and trying to help the other children. The father will become very happy. Oh, very nice. The son is helping me. Similarly, Krishna, when he sees that, Krishna wants all the conditioned souls back to his lotus feet. And then when we as a responsible children, try to help others, to remember Krishna and get them back to the lotus feet of Krishna, how much joy it gives for Krishna. right? And Janmashtami, the appearance day of the Lord. See, my dear Lord, this is what I'm going to do today. I am going to bring so and so and so and so people, and I'm going to, bring them to your service today. Krishna will be very, very happy. So in that way, in the following the footsteps of our great acharyas, we want to expand our consciousness and see what are the different things I can do. Maybe some Janmashtami festival would have thought, if I do this, I'll be happy. If I do this, I'll be happy. There is nothing wrong in me feeling happy. But when we do for Krishna's happiness, automatically our joy multifold times it will increase. We don't have to separately ask. When the senses of the Lord are pleased, automatically our senses will please. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Rishikesha, the master of senses, if he gets pleased, automatically our senses will become pleased. So it's very wonderful meditation for all of us to think what we are going to do for this Janmashtami. One, in terms of offering to the Lord, what kind of items. Sometimes we may not be able to cook and do. Okay, I can sponsor, or I can take and go, or some different kinds of flowers. In the home, maybe we can make some garlands and put. And then we can see that what are the different things I'm going to study today, about Krishna, because that day I want to know more, read Bhagavad Gita, because Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. And then when I read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will be very happy. So reading, hearing, chanting, visiting the temple, not just visiting, doing some seva in the temple, taking somebody with us to the temple, engaging them in their service of the Lord. These are broader principles I'm sharing, but we should go to the details, what as an individual I am going to do. So with that mood, if we do this, Janmashtami will be a very wonderful offering for the Lord. It is always good to see, good to think in a way, what Krishna did for me, what I can do for Krishna, what Srila Prabhupada has given me, what I can do for Srila Prabhupada. So in that way, we can try to reciprocate. Always we expect reciprocation from the Lord. If I get a flower from the Lord, I become very happy. If someone calls and tells, okay, Prabhu, take this tulsi, we become very happy. Okay, it's very nice, it's wonderful, this is a blessing we are getting. But when are we going to think, oh, I like to give something for the Lord? Not that I always want something from the Lord. I can give something to the Lord. So then automatically it becomes very blissful. So from a receiving end to a giving end, that gives a lot of happiness. If you see, every one of us would have experienced when we are serving prasadam to others, or when someone serves the food, what happens? If he keeps serving for some 10, 20, 30 people, 40 people, after that we feel so satisfied. Even sometimes we may not feel like eating also. Rather than the person who received and eaten, more than that person, the one who serves feels so much joy. Because serving is a great joy, because that's a true joy, because the living entity's true position is to serve. It is like, a crocodile. Of course, more than a crocodile, you can say crocodile is a water animal. When it is, of course, it comes in the land also, but it's more stronger in water. Elephant is a land animal, right? An elephant is comfortable in a land, like a fish. If you take a fish out of water, the fish is gone. Similarly, for us, our original position is to serve. So when we do that, we feel great joy. Just like a fish in the water feels joy, when we do service, we will feel more joy. So that's our real position, our original nature, is to serve. So in that consciousness, we can prepare. It is mentioned that Brahmaji, Brahma is a daytime, 1,000 yugas. In the 1,000 yugas, in the 28th yuga, that time it is Lord Krishna appears. So we see that is some Vaivashvata Manu, and we see 5,000 years back, just Krishna, not every yuga, Krishna, appears. It is the 28th yuga cycle of Lord Brahmaji's daytime. Krishna appears, and Krishna appeared this time, in this yuga, yuga cycle, Dwapara Yuga, just 5,000 years ago. So that means we are also in the same Kali Yuga. Krishna appeared in Dwapara Yuga and we are there in Kali Yuga. So it's like we are so blessed that Krishna appeared in this particular Yuga cycle. So very, very special in that sense. So it's how nice that we take this opportunity of whatever we have got in Krishna consciousness to deepen our love more for Krishna. For that, we should know more about Krishna. So that is why Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and all that is given. Because if unless we know what Krishna likes, what can I offer to Krishna then? What are the wonderful qualities of Krishna? Only if I know, I can appreciate that personality, right? So that is why it's very important for us to keep reading more, keep hearing more, keep chanting more. Then automatically we will develop that. Just like in any loving relationship, a person feels a natural interest to serve the other person. So no one has to remind, some people put in the calendar year before, oh, the next year birthday will be celebrated this way, that way. A lot of planning because there is a love for the other person. So in order for us to develop that kind of a mood, it's wonderful for us to know more about the personality, the Supreme Personality. So this Janmashtami, let's all plan nicely how we are going to do, what we are going to do in this line of seeing in a broader aspect, perspective of a Vasudeva Kudumpakam. Not just me, but then me also getting closer to Krishna, me doing something for Krishna, but also how I can share the mercy to others. In what way I can help others to get the mercy. So if you can think in those lines, that will be very nice for this Janmashtami. So let's plan for that. It is a Janmashtami day, is a fasting day. In fact, it's a fasting till midnight. So if someone has no health issues and all that, then they can try to fast. If not, with fruits, we can fast. Or if any medical condition is there, whatever you can fast, how much of a time you can fast. But you can spend more time chanting the holy name and then serving, whatever service we can do. It is nice to do some seva that day, for the Lord as a token of gratitude. And also making commitments, spiritual commitments, just like in Balaram Appearance Day, special days, the auspicious appearance day of the Lord. That's one of the gifts we are giving to the Lord. So we can take some gift for the Lord also. And apart from that gift, a tangible gift or an external gift, we can also see what commitments, spiritual commitments we can make on this Janmashtami. So that, we remember and we can all think back what we did in our last Janmashtami. Every one of us can think back, okay, last Janmashtami I did this. So this Janmashtami I should be doing something more. That's a way of looking forward to serve Krishna. And the next day of Janmashtami is Nanda Utsava. So Nanda Utsava is Nanda Maharaj, Krishna's father, is celebrating the appearance day of Krishna in a very grand scale, giving a lot of charity and then wonderful arrangements for the celebration. So Nanda Utsava is very, very special, and it is a very special day. Srila Prabhupada appeared. For us, it is very, very super important. The appearance day of the pure devotees is something, so important for us, because that's a day filled with a lot of mercy. So we can see how we can serve Srila Prabhupada, because fasting till midnight, then there is a midnight darshan. Here we have Shri Radha Landanishwara, Shri Radha Gokulananda. So we can go to one of the temples and then see the darshana, night darshan, because Krishna appeared in the night, midnight. That will be very wonderful, because next day is Saturday only. So we can try to go and then see the midnight darshan of the Lord. And then people break their fast. And then again, the fasting continues till noon for Srila Prabhupada appearance day. And Prabhupada appearance day also is very wonderful, because many of the senior disciples of Srila Prabhupada would be, sharing their homages. We can also write homages, for Prabhupada, and then we can read out in front of Srila Prabhupada. That's one very important thing. we can do. We can offer prayers to Srila Prabhupada. We can do what way we can serve. We can make some spiritual commitments. So all these different things we can do on the day. But we need to plan, because not everything we may be able to do. But so that's why it's very important to plan. Okay, what am I going to do? Whom am I going to take? What are the different sevas I'm going to do? Well, in advance to plan. And especially now in the temples, a lot of seva opportunities are there. Many of the devotees are going for the cooking for the devotees, cooking for the deities, assisting for the deities, garland making. Many other sevas are available, cleaning service. So many sevas are available. So we can all take part in all these services. In Manor also we have Janmashtami tent, special tent for children they have given. And many of the devotees are already doing the practice, and the children are all going to go. So we need to plan in advance and go for these festivals. And Srila Prabhupada appearance day, whoever has not read the Leela Amrita book, it's a high time to make a commitment on Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. If you have not read, your ever well wisher is a smaller version. If someone has not read, please start reading from that day or before also, nice. And then if someone has read it, please read Leela Amrita, the bigger version, bigger volume, online also available. It will be very nice. We can get a detailed, to know about the detailed life history of Srila Prabhupada, his wonderful pastimes. And also Srila Prabhupada's disciples have written a lot of books. Many of the disciples, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj has written Ocean of Mercy, very beautiful book. And many other personalities, Prabhupada disciples have written about Srila Prabhupada. So all these books we can try to read to know more about Srila Prabhupada, to appreciate Srila Prabhupada. And also there is Abhay Charan. We will be releasing that information very soon. The Abhay Charan serial, which His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj, made this beautiful serial, which was coming in the television also. YouTube also we can see, but there is a special pen drive they have made. In that we can see all this different videos of this Abhay Charan serial. Very nicely they have done it. We are working on that, for that for all of our devotees also in our congregation, which we will release that information very soon. So it will be very nice for this particular Srila Prabhupada appearance day. We all can try to get that one, so that many people are watching many serials. This is a wonderful serial to watch, and when we watch something, it is even more very connecting for us. So the entire life of Srila Prabhupada in that beautiful serial form, made by His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. He was personally directed and made it. So it's a very beautiful one. I think some of you might have already seen. If not, we can again watch. We will put the details soon. So these all things we can do. And let's get into this Srila Prabhupada's life. Quickly. Someone has made, Topaji Prabhu has made a small PPT. We will go through the contents. So it's a wonderful way of meditating on Srila Prabhupada's gifts, what he has given for all of us. So we can appreciate that. In that mood, we can start all of the celebrations. Because if we cannot appreciate a pure devotee, very difficult to appreciate Krishna. Because Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada's appearance was very, very close. Maybe we didn't see Prabhupada, but we are seeing Srila Prabhupada's disciples and the impact of this movement, what Srila Prabhupada has given. But to understand Sri Krishna 5,000 years back, Mahaprabhu came 500 years back. Even Mahaprabhu for us very difficult to relate. Krishna 5,000 years back, but Srila Prabhupada is very, very close. 1896 Srila Prabhupada appeared, and Srila Prabhupada disappeared 1977. So it's easy to relate, and easy to relate a pure devotee, what he has given, the legacy, what he has left. We all know that Hare Krishna mantra has become, everywhere. This Hare Krishna mantra was locked inside Kali Santarana Upanishad. Not many people knew about it. Then over a period of time, people have forgotten also this mantra completely. That's where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and brought back the holy name, made it widespread. When he appeared personally for that, that's one of the external reason. The external reason for which Mahaprabhu appeared is to give the holy name far and wide. And it is mentioned in the scriptures how is Senapati Bhakta, the commander-in-chief of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, will come in the future and will make this holy name spread far and wide all over the world, and which we can see how Srila Prabhupada brought it to the Western world. So it's very, very amazing to read Srila Prabhupada's biography, Leelamrita, to know more about him. And that will give us an inspiration, to become, sometimes devotees ask, I don't feel much enthusiasm, or I'm not able to feel much determination. There are so many difficulties and challenges in my life. How do I actually take up Krishna consciousness, or how to maintain my Krishna conscious spirit? That's where we should read Srila Prabhupada biography. When we read such amazing personalities' life history, it gives such an inspiration, such an inspiration, direction, guidance, when we read a pure devotee's life history. So then automatically we will feel that, yes, I think I can do it. And we will derive the spiritual strength, praying to those spiritual personalities. So it's very, very amazing. One of the ways to gear up, if we are already practicing Krishna consciousness, for us to become more dynamic and to get into the spirit. Sometimes we may say we are practicing Krishna consciousness, but we may be very stagnant in our practice. Okay, get up, do our chanting, or done some rounds, somehow finish. Okay, read something, or if not, read once in a month. So very stagnant practice. There is no life into it. So then in that case, when we read Srila Prabhupada's life history, hear more about Srila Prabhupada memories from Srila Prabhupada's disciples, then automatically it will wake us up, will become more dynamic. We will understand, I can't be just sitting like this for years. I need to do something. You see, how long are we going to keep giving excuse? So the mind always gives excuse. That's why I said, don't follow this mind. The mind will never give us, oh yeah, you are ready, you can do it. It always comes with some funny, kind of justification, which is useless. So that is why it's important, all the acharyas and the scriptures say that ignore the mind. How to ignore the mind? We can't just artificially say that, okay. So we have to engage our mind. The best way to ignore is to distract the mind from. Mind is trying to distract us. We have to distract the mind by engaging ourselves in devotional service and reading and serving these great personalities. So when we read a life history, Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita, amazing. It will just give all inspiration for us. So that's why it's very, very important. Whether somebody is new, somebody is already following it, or somebody is practicing for a long time, all of us need inspiration. And this book is simply amazing. When we read it, it's guaranteed that we will be inspired. It's an amazing book. Even if you have read it, we can read many, many times. The more we read, the more we get inspired. The more we hear about Srila Prabhupada, the more we get inspired. So then we will be able to serve Krishna properly. It is not that we serve Krishna and then it is the other way around. We try to serve the pure devotees. We try to know about the pure devotees. Then we will be able to serve the Lord very nicely, because they will show the path. Okay, so let's see this. I'll try to share the screen now. Give me a moment. Okay, so Prabhu, I can share the screen.
Yes, Mataji, you will be able to do it.
Just a minute, I'm just checking where it is. Or can I send it to you?
Yes,
You are sharing from link, Mataji?
Huh? Sorry?
You are sharing from the link, right? The PPT Google Slides, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see, Prabhu, how to share here now.
Have you opened it or shall I?
Wait. I've opened it, but this.
Who is host? Prabhu, can you make a host also in that case? I can share.
Naveen Prabhu, you are a co-host, no Prabhu.
Okay.
Prabhu, you are able to see anything now?
No, Mataji.
I can see in my laptop, but one moment, 1 second. Let me try again. But in the thing, it's not displaying. That's why. 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sorry, did you get it? Tanige Vel, Prabhu.
I will check it, Mataji.
I can share, Mataji, no problem.
Huh?
I can share, Mataji.
It's okay. Prabhu can share also, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu, you have the link with you, Prabhu?
Yeah, I send it to him. I've sent it to him. I think here it is not deducting that file. So that's the reason. I just sent you in WhatsApp, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. I'm just opening Mataji.
So it's very nice. This one is kind of slides, which gives a quick view of Srila Prabhupada's pastimes from the beginning to end. So it's very nice. And especially, devotees who have read this book will know how much inspiration this book gives, because who can imagine at the age of 70 to cross, cross the sea and go and suffer all the hardships. Prabhupada is not obliged to do all this. No one told you must do it. Yes, it was a request of his spiritual master. But Prabhupada took it so deep into his heart that he worked it, in a way that he was ready to, go through any kind of hardships. And if Srila Prabhupada does not come, what would be the position? Now you see all over the world, whether UK, we are here today speaking about Krishna consciousness, having an association, the beautiful deities here, temples here. How is it possible without Srila Prabhupada? So we are actually enjoying the fruits of what Srila Prabhupada has given. So if he has not done that sacrifice, it would have been very, very difficult. So let's see here. So in a way, we see what we can, in what way we can actually assist Srila Prabhupada, how we can make our life. First thing is, first we need to also see that once if I am not taking that, able to take up those instructions, in the sense, those principles in my life, which are not hard, and it's not that we have to go to forest, it is just to make our life better. Whatever Prabhupada giving is, the principles what he has given is good for our physical well-being, mental well-being, and spiritual well-being. We don't have to go to, people are going to psychiatrists. I'm not saying that we should go, it's against psychiatrist or something like that. But the thing is that it's like prevention is better than cure. So the best way is to engage, our mind in something. People talk about positivity and there's something positive. What is something positive? Whatever so-called positive at one point becomes negative at another point, because in this world everything is very relative truths. So the real way of getting into that piece of the peaceful mode is to actually connect ourselves with the absolute truth, not relative truths. Relative truth today looks very positive, tomorrow it is negative. Today looks very happy, tomorrow it becomes sorrow. So that's why here we can see what Srila Prabhupada has given. So is it a full screen, Prabhu? You will operate from there? One second. Let me go one by one. You are able to hear me?
Yes, Mataji. You can see the full screen, Mataji.
Yeah.
I'm sharing the...
Okay. A life in service to God and humanity. So Srila Prabhupada, whatever principles he has given, it's not that he has told only to all the sannyasis in this world, or only to all the saintly people in the world, okay, this is only for you. It's not just for limited to one's kind of a religion. This is not limited to one kind of people. It is open for all. It is for the entire humanity. For all colors, all language speaking, for everyone. Yes, Prabhu. We'll go quicker. Okay. So I was just mentioning little earlier. Prabhu, can I 1 minute?
Harishna Mataji.
Yeah. So in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, the Lord Krishna described after 5,000 years of Kali have passed, a great saintly worshipper of Krishna's holy name will appear and spread the chanting of Krishna's name in the form of Hare Krishna mantra, not only in India but throughout the world. So that's a prediction about Srila Prabhupada is given in the scriptures already. Yes, Prabhu. So later in 1800s, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a great devotee, predicted in his magazine. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is one of our Acharya. He has mentioned in his magazine, Sajjana Toshani. Soon there will be a time when chanting of Krishna's name will be heard in England, France, Russia, Germany, and America. And we can see today in all these places what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur have predicted. Everywhere Krishna consciousness is there. In England, UK, France, now France, New Mayapur, and many temples are there now. Russia, Germany, and America. All these places we have now so many temples. The prediction of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It happened by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhu. In answer to these prayers and predictions, in the year 1896, Srila Prabhupada appeared in Kolkata as Abhay Charan. The parents gave the name Abhay Charan, one who is fearless, who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of this personality, who bestows fearlessness. So that's the name of Srila Prabhupada, later known as A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Yes. So we know that, childhood Srila Prabhupada was, of course, a pure devotee of the Lord, and when he was a very small child itself, he had the eagerness to, do Jagannath Rath Yatra. And then his father, brought this cart, and how they made the cart. We all celebrated sometime, I think, couple of years back, Rath Yatra festival, when the pandemic was there. Everyone could make a Rath Yatra cart, if you remember. So we read this pastime. So Srila Prabhupada, from childhood, he was organizing this festival, and later this festival all over the world. Now we have our London Rath Yatra coming up in September, 4th of September. And also East London Rath Yatra is coming up on the 18th of September. So every nook and corner now, Rath Yatra is happening by Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Yes. So then Srila Prabhupada, he did this, he attended the Scottish Church College. If you go to Kolkata, we can still see that college. But Prabhupada refused to accept the diploma from the college, because that time India was under British rule. So then, so Prabhupada, that time he was taking up Gandhiji's, non-violence. So as this thing, to respect that, Prabhupada did not refuse to accept his diploma. Yes. Then Srila Prabhupada, he in 1918. So then later he became, he worked in the pharmaceutical industry, Dr. Bose. And then 1918, Srila Prabhupada got married, and anyone remembers wife's name? Srila Prabhupada's wife's name?
Radha.
Radharani. Yes.
Rajani.
Yes.
No. Rajani is mother's name, Prabhu.
Rajani is mother's name. Radharani, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yes. Next. So then the very important moment came in year 1922, when Srila Prabhupada met his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Anyone remembers what is the place where Srila Prabhupada met his spiritual master?
Ultadanga.
Ultadanga, yeah.
In Calcutta.
Ultadanga. And this very, very, historical, instruction and historical meeting between these two great personalities, the lion guru, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He gave a very wonderful instruction to Srila Prabhupada, and for this one instruction, Srila Prabhupada, he took that one instruction as his life and soul to please his spiritual master. His entire life was to focusing on this one instruction of a spiritual master. You're a nice young man and you know English, therefore you should preach this mission of Lord specifically to the English speaking countries in the Western world. The first meeting. So this what is he took his life and soul and executed it successfully. Yes. So 1933, Srila Prabhupada. So we saw 1922, he met his spiritual master. 1933, Srila Prabhupada accepted initiation from his spiritual master. And 1935, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur told him to print as many books possible and distribute. That's called the, so what is that called as? There is two kinds of mridangas, right? The mridanga which we use. Brihat mridanga, the greater mridanga. Okay, next one. So 1944, so it's very easy to remember. 22, Srila Prabhupada met his spiritual master. 33, he got initiated. 44, he started this very amazing magazine, Back to Goddess. Still it is there. A lot of wonderful, information we can get. Amazing, magazine. We can subscribe to this magazine now also and see how much we can get benefited by that. And that time Srila Prabhupada single-handedly started this Back to Garden, and how much of hardship he has to go through Yeah, so it's mentioned that he wrote them himself. He had them printed, even rode into town on the bus to distribute this one-page sheet. But he never stopped. So Prabhupada started with one page, one sheet. So it has been published monthly by his faithful followers. So very, very determined. Prabhupada was, maintaining this magazine, and still it is going on. Yes. So whoever has not subscribed, you can try to subscribe this very wonderful magazine. Very pleasing to Prabhupada, and we will be very blessed to read so much all over the world in ISKCON temples and centers. What's happening, we can know from the book. Okay, 1953, Prabhupada started the League of Devotees. Before starting International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So in which place Prabhupada started this League of Devotees? Anyone remember?
Shashi.
Jansi.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Next. 1959, Srila Prabhupada accepted the renounced order of life and to execute the words of Special Master, because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur came in the dream and instructed Srila Prabhupada to take sannyas. So that time Prabhupada gave all the responsibility to his sons, and then he took sannyas and then preached far and wide. Yes. So Prabhupada, after taking sannyas, he took up residence in Vrindavana. After, in the Radha Damodar temple. So before Radha Damodar temple, where Prabhupada was setting up his residence. Anyone remembers? What is the place?
Kolkata.
No, before Radha Damodar temple, what's the temple? Which temple in Vrindavan was? After some years, he occupied a room in Radha Damodar temple, but initially where Prabhupada was having his room. He will go back and forth to Delhi to print this thing.
Radha Madan Mohan.
V, starting with V. What temple is it? Okay, think about it at the end, you can say. While living there almost penniless and sometimes only eating every other day, Srila Prabhupada see how much of hardship in the Radha Damodar temple. Sometimes he could not eat also, but he continued writing and distributing his Back to God magazine. In addition to that, Srila Prabhupada seriously spent most of his time from 1959. What's the date and the year, Prabhu? 1959, what is it?
1965.
1965, translating the multi-volume Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. So because someone said to Srila Prabhupada that you're writing magazines, that's fine, but but if you write the books, that will be more solid, concrete, So then Prabhupada took that as an instruction of Krishna, and then he started working on Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. 1965, he had raised funds to publish the first 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. This 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam are done in Radha Damodar temple. So then Prabhupada used to sit in Radha Damodar temple praying to Radha Damodar, and also Srila Rupa Goswami's Samadhi. When the day will come that I can take the, I'll be able to fulfill the instruction of my spiritual master, going to West and preach. So when the 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam are ready, Prabhupada felt, okay, now, finally, he should now, embark on this great journey to America. Yes. 1965, Srila Prabhupada reached the shores of USA on the steamship Jalatuta. He arrived with the equivalent of $8 in Indian rupees, a pair of hand symbols, and a small trunk of his books. During his voyage at sea, Srila Prabhupada suffered 2 severe heart attacks. So before, all throughout you can see right from, before sannyas and now also how much Prabhupada has to, to single-handedly to put, release print the magazine. Then after that, with the 3 volumes of book ready, he came to America alone, with no one there to support him, with only $8 in Indian rupees. And also he suffered 2 heart attacks in the Jalatuta. Yes. In July of 1966, Prabhupada secured a storefront, a matchless gift with an adjoining apartment at 26 2nd Avenue. So Srila Prabhupada, we can see this, and every day he was holding Bhagavad Gita classes, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Most of the times you could see sometimes the room is very empty and Prabhupada alone would be sitting, but he will be preaching as if some hundreds of people are there. So Prabhupada started this in the year 1966. In the West. So also he incorporated the movement International Society of Krishna Consciousness. Some devotees, they ask God consciousness. Why Prabhupada? You could have God is a, generic word. Then Prabhupada replies, telling God has a name Krishna. So why not use it? Very personal. Yes. Guided by Srila Prabhupada, 2 couples among his disciples opened a Hare Krishna temple in San Francisco. After matchless gifts in New York, there was second ISKCON temple. In San Francisco. And who is sitting here in the picture? Anyone knows? The very first with the tie. White shirt, t-shirt, and a tie. Who is this personality?
Jayananda Prabhu.
Jayananda Prabhu, yes. And Jayananda Prabhu, the first Ratha Yatra, first Ratha Yatra happened in San Francisco, Jagannath Ratha Yatra in the West. And Srila Prabhupada asked Jayananda Prabhu to make the card. So that's why even now we see in all the Rath cards, we have a picture of Jayananda Prabhu. A very glorious disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Yes. January 29, 19, all the cutting edge San Francisco band, the Grateful Dead, Moby Grape, Janis Joplin, Big Brother, and the Holding Company, Jefferson, all this had agreed to appear with Srila Prabhupada at the Avalon Ballroom's Mantra Rock Dance, proceeds from which we went to the newly opened local Hare Krishna temple. Thousands of hippies joined for this very great for this particular mantra rock dance. Yes. So those days, Prabhupada, wherever his disciples would take them, Prabhupada would go. His mood was only to give Krishna consciousness. So, like that, one time they took Prabhupada to one place where everyone were, they were people who are like, don't wear any dress, and they are more into natural living. So they took Prabhupada to such a place. And Prabhupada, even for people of, people who are in that kind of a, a situation, Prabhupada was there and he was preaching. He was telling how removing your external dress, one feels so much of joy, so much freedom, so much happiness, and everyone nodded their head. Yeah, correct. So then Srila Prabhupada said, if you really know this material body is your and when you remove this external dress, Prabhupada was talking about your dress, outer dress, when you remove, so much of joy you feel, and you feel you are, you are more in line with the nature, and you're feeling so much joy. If you reel this material dress, which he refers as material body, that means in that consciousness, if you remove, how much of joy you will get. And then Prabhupada entered into the philosophy. So Prabhupada can speak anywhere and everywhere and can connect anything, and bring people to Krishna consciousness. So with those kind of people, just imagine not dressed properly. It will be very, no saint would be, saintly person would dare to sit in a place or won't like to sit in a place, in fact. But Prabhupada, rather, in that kind of a audience, he made two great devotees, from that kind of an audience. They became later great disciples and sannyasis. So that's amazing. That's the power of Srila Prabhupada. The potency of Srila Prabhupada, the potency of a pure devotee, like a touchstone. They can transform anyone and everyone. His disciples were going out and opening new branches after New York and San Francisco. The new temples were opened in Montreal. So more branches were getting opened. Yes. So how emperor, see Prabhupada, these Western devotees initially, they didn't know when Srila Prabhupada came, they did not even know who Krishna was. But then they only know Swamiji. But then still in San Francisco, they opened the branch and Prabhupada gave them some guidelines and they were running the center. Then New York, then San Francisco, then Montreal. Like that, Prabhupada was empowering all these personalities and they were all opening new branches. So within the 10 years span, Prabhupada opened 108 temples. So in 1967, he returned to India and stayed in Radha Damodar temple for a few months. I mean, from Radha Damodar, he went to West and he came back there and stayed in 1967 for a few months. Yes. Srila Prabhupada came to London the same year and for the first time addressed the English public in October 1969 in Conway Hall. I think many of the devotees would have gone to this Conway Hall where we had the anniversary celebration of Sri Radha Landaneshwara, a special place where Srila Prabhupada first came and addressed. Yeah, 1969. Yes, Prabhu. 1971, he planted the seed of Krishna consciousness in Moscow, repeating the same preaching strategy he previously used in the USA. So here actually, in Moscow, actually only one person Prabhupada, met, and then Prabhupada spoke to him, empowered him, and then that one devotee, that seed Prabhupada put, and that seed, nourished, got fructified, and it's like one seed became like many seeds and many plants and many fruits. Now you see in Russia, my God, the way these devotees practice Krishna consciousness is simply amazing. We have this Salted Bread book. If someone has not read that book, we can get this book called Salted Bread. We have even some dramas by name Salted Bread. How these devotees sacrifice their lives in Russia and for spreading Krishna consciousness. Amazing. And only one person Prabhupada made. And that one person became like a touchstone, making many, many more devotees. Yeah, Prabhu. You may have to go fast. Okay. 1971, he visited Vrindavan with 40 Western disciples. They travel across India, setting up public programs for thousands of people. Many Indian people joined his spiritual family in 1971. So Prabhupada left 65, 66 he opened, 65 left. 71, he went back with the 40 Western disciples. Yes, Prabhu. Some of Srila Prabhupada's unparalleled achievements. Let's read it. He sent his followers chanting the names of God into the streets and cities and villages. Thus, the Hare Krishna mantra became famous in nearly every corner of the earth. Many people may not even know what is ISKCON, but everyone knows Hare Krishna. When they see any devotees, they say, "Oh, here is Hare Krishna." So it became so famous, this Hare Krishna mantra, because of Srila Prabhupada and his followers. Yes. He organized traveling bus parties in the USA and Australia to spread Krishna's teachings spoken in the days and written 5,000 years ago in the so traveling bus party, through that also everywhere. So people were in the streets singing and doing kirtan and going, and also traveling sankirtan parties Yes, Prabhu. He sent his disciples to London where they recorded the single Hare Krishna mantra with George Harrison in 1969. Prabhu, the words are cutting down. Is it, you are able to see? It became the fastest selling of all the Apple Corporation's releases, including those of the Beatles. So we know, all of us, we know, George Harrison donated this wonderful mansion, and now we call it a Bhaktivedanta Manor. And three of Srila Prabhupada's Grahastha disciples came and started, in UK. Yes. Then Srila Prabhupada also had many informal conversations with Krishna consciousness, the science of Krishna consciousness with his disciples, guests. We can see Prabhupada Vani .org. In that one, all the different things, Prabhupada's morning walks, room conversations, many other, also that different books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the different lectures, what he gave, all that is there. We can try to hear that. It will be wonderful in our lifetime if we can at least one time hear all that lectures what Srila Prabhupada has given. That would be a very great achievement, a great offering to Srila Prabhupada. Very pleasing to Srila Prabhupada. He formally initiated approximately 5,000 disciples from all different kinds of nationality, races, background. Srila Prabhupada initiated, made them devotees. Yes. Same thing, Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhupada also spoke with many world-renowned dignitaries, celebrities, scientists, all kind of religious leaders. In the book Science of Self-Realization, we can see a lot of conversation with many such kind of scientists and many other people from different backgrounds. Yeah, Prabhu. He founded the Bhaktivedanta Institute, BI, to advance Krishna consciousness within the scientific community, engaging serious academics in the consideration of the science of self-realization. So that is something amazing. Prabhupada, BI is full of scientists, devotee scientists. They've written many scientific way of approaching Krishna consciousness, because many people, sometimes people may think Krishna consciousness is very sentimental. It is not sentimental, it is very scientific. And these devotees have explained it so wonderfully. Bhakti Damodar Maharaj was made as the head of this BI, and then many other scientists joined him, and then they've written a lot of books also. Life Comes from Life is one such scientific book. Many books like that we can read. Sometimes children of today's world, they think that religion means it's all sentiment and emotions. There is maybe it's a mythology and all those, but I think probably they may be we may inspire them to read this kind of books, very, very scientific, and they can very easily connect to Krishna consciousness. So Life Comes from Life, Science of Self-Realization, like that. There are quite a lot of books, so they can actually read these books. So Srila Prabhupada managed this big movement. Is called International Society. It's not just in one country, it's an international society which is spread across the world. And how did Prabhupada, those days there is no Facebook, there is no WhatsApp, there is no Twitter, there is no Instagram, and none of these things. But Prabhupada managed just through letters and personal meetings. So many thousands of letters Srila Prabhupada has written amidst 14 times traveling the globe. It's simply amazing, guiding the disciples through the letters itself. So much of guidance. It's totally unimaginable. Even with all this technology developed, it is so hard for us, Yes. Yes, in order to carry on the mission in Sapsang, he counseled his disciples on complex managerial, philosophical, and personal issues. Yeah, guided them. Prabhu, make it small so we can read. The words cutting it out. Yeah, we're almost there.
Can you see it, Mataji?
Yeah, I can see. So it's amazing what Srila Prabhupada, we inaugurate the Rath Yatra festival. As we know, Jagannath Puri only they had Rath Yatra festival. Now all nook and corners we have Rath Yatra festival. So Lord Jagannath, Lord of the universe, truly his glories to spread all over the world. It's Srila Prabhupada's endeavor that it is now glories of Lord Jagannath spread all over the world. Yes. Everyone getting the opportunity to pull the chariots. Wrote more than 70 books on the science of Krishna consciousness, sleeping only a few hours per day. Prabhupada 70-year plus just sleeping for 2-3 hours, and the midnight Prabhupada will wake up and then he will be translating, these books. So it's not ordinary books. Prabhupada said that these are personally dictated by Krishna. So that's why Srila Prabhupada himself will be seen many times reading his own books. So it's so powerful, so potent. Just by reading books, many of them have become devotees. And he founded the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust in 1972 to produce his books. 1976, over 55 crores of literatures have been published in 25 languages. These books are being distributed in almost every country, making the BBT the world's largest publisher of spiritual and philosophical text. Amazing. BBT is the world's largest publisher of spiritual and philosophical text. You can see all different languages the books has been translated. They have mentioned that it is 45. He established 108 Krishna temples on 6 continents, installed the deity of Krishna in each center, and trained his disciples in the process of deity worship. In 1974, shocked and saddened upon seeing a group of village children fighting with street dogs over scraps of wood, Srila Prabhupada told his students to begin serving free meals to the poor and destitute. Prabhupada, in Mayapur Dham, when he saw that, they were devotees have eaten prasadam and thrown the remnants, and from that they were scrapping those remnants and eating, and they were fighting with the dogs because the dogs were also coming to eat that. Prabhupada had tears in his eyes, and he said that the 10-mile radius of the temple, no one should go hungry, because the Lord, the Supreme Lord, is the Supreme Father. In his presence, no children should go hungry. And all over the world, we see in all the centers around the world, they follow this, the Food for Life program. Very, very successful, very amazing, and nourishing many, many children spiritually and materially also. So this is amazing. Food for Life program. Yes, it's Srila Prabhupada's compassion. Prabhupada's followers were inspired to expand the original effort of global network, free kitchen, vans, and mobile service, establishing daily delivery to homeless and destitute people around the world. Even we know now, recent war, Ukraine, we see how devotees set up this Food for Life program, going and helping, whether there is, anywhere war is happening, somewhere it's a drought, somewhere it's a flood, all these different natural calamities or, disturbances, always, devotees are there for rescue, distributing prasadam, at the time of need. Very amazing. Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada, we can see in the Guru Parampara, the bona fide Sampradaya, a spiritual master means someone is coming in the bona fide Parampara. And he gives knowledge as per time, place, and circumstance. So we can see starting Narada, Vyasadev, like that we can see in the line 32. Srila Prabhupada, is there, and the Sampradaya is actually extending through his followers. So a bona fide Parampara Acharya means it's finally that Parampara goes back to Krishna himself, the Supreme Lord. Yes. So how his example helps us in our daily life. struggle, daily life struggle, and how we learn to practice devotional service with current routine. We can see that's why, as we discussed earlier, reading Leelamrita, hearing Leelamrita, Srila Prabhupada's life, we can see how, many times people, when challenges come, generally we give up. We try to see that the first thing we give up is Krishna consciousness. And we see that when things are getting fine, I will take up Krishna consciousness. But here is an example we can see how he made challenges into opportunities. So Srila Prabhupada is such an amazing role model. Never gave up. So much faith in Krishna, in the holy name, and Prabhupada was successful. So it's a success story. Then how we can also be, follow that line. That we can get by reading Srila. We can get the inspiration and also that faith, to follow in the footsteps of that great personality. Our reciprocation, how can we reciprocate to Srila Prabhupada? Because he wrote 80 volumes of books, only sleeping for a few hours. Even at the time, the final lesson, if you see the video final lesson, when Srila Prabhupada, in 1977, in Vrindavan, in Krishna Balaram Mandir, Prabhupada is about to leave his body, even in the condition, that 1 month Prabhupada was even not eating anything. Completely his body is emaciated. Even in that condition, he was glowing. He did not give up, this dictating, the books, so he was dictating and they were taking notes, and Prabhupada was writing books like that. So even on the day he was leaving, Prabhupada was dictating. So that is the determination, that is his devotion. And this is what Srila Prabhupada has given out of his compassion for all the people in this world, for the entire humanity, for the entire suffering humanity. So how are we going to reciprocate to him for what he has given? For all that he has, the volumes of blood which he has given to help every one of us. What are we going to give back? By reciprocating. How we can reciprocate? How can we reciprocate? First, by scrutinizingly studying the scriptures. So first to study, not just simply read, but study systematically, properly, and then helps others also to understand. And we apply in our life. So we study, we apply, and then we also help others to study and apply. So in that way, we are actually offering gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, you have done so much for us. Okay, this is our reciprocation of love. Reading books is, maybe we should have a reading contest or something we should start. Maybe we can think about that slowly. It will be very nice. We did for the Leelamrita, and many devotees did it. We see what we can do. It's not just Leelamrita, the book, but also all the books which Srila Prabhupada has given to read it on a systematic basis. Maybe the Bhakti Vrikshas can plan with some idea within the small group. It will be nice. Build up our own character and how pleasing Lord's devotees may grant us access to spiritual world. Yeah, its character is also very important. And not just a knowledge reflecting in our character. So when each one of us can read the books, apply that in our life, and represent properly, then many more will be able to take. And that is the way. Now, I was reading somewhere, I don't know where I read it. What you are now is a gift from God, and what you become is a gift to God. Very nice. Somewhere I read it. What you are now is a gift from God. What you become is a gift to God. That means how we transform ourselves from where we are to a better person. That means that's an offering to the Lord. Okay, my dear Lord, you gave me the skills, you gave me this, you gave me this opportunities, you gave me this lifestyle, you gave me these things. Okay, with this, how I'm going to, transform myself. So then that would be our gift to the Lord. That would be our gift to not only to the Lord, that will be our gift to the pure devotees. Srila Prabhupada. So we end here. Prabhu, is there anything more there? Yeah, so applications are, yeah, we have few more. Yes, sir. With the dust of my devotees' lotus feet, I desire to purify the material worlds which are situated in me. Thus, I always follow in the footsteps of my pure devotees who are free from all personal desires, wrapped in thought of my pastimes, peaceful, without any feelings of enmity, and of equal disposition everywhere. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says, with the dust of my devotees' lotus feet, I desire to purify the material worlds. So how purifying is the lotus, that foot dust of the pure devotees. So that following the footsteps of pure devotees means following their instructions. Following their instructions. How to know the instructions? Reading their books and hearing from them. Hearing from them, hearing about them, then we will be able to follow their footsteps. And in that way, we can make a difference in our life. And make difference in others' life too. Then the whole world be a better place to live in. We are talking about in this world how to, global peace, universal brotherhood, many big words we speak. How do we do it actually? Is it just some imagination, or is it a far off goal, or is it something unimaginable or impractical? No, everything is possible. So that's what Srila Prabhupada has personally come and taught us. And through his books, we can learn and we can apply in our lives and see how much transformation it makes in our own lives. And then each one of us can be the change that we want to see in this world. And then in that way, the whole world changes to a better place. So it's very, very amazing. It is a great humanitarian service, a great gift to the entire humanity. Many times people think spirituality, people who are talking about spiritual life, or spirituality, they are very narrow. But here, they are not thinking about this world. They are not thinking about this humanity. They're only thinking about God. No, actually, by actually serving God, or by actually trying to please God, a person who is a true lover of God will be a true lover of everyone, because he sees everyone as a part and parcel of God. So that's a broader perspective. So Srila Prabhupada has given this very broader perspective to all of us, being from how we can become from selfish to selfless, a narrow-mindedness to a broad-mindedness of helping others. What is true humanitarian service? We can learn from Srila Prabhupada's life. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada. It is his mercy that many people life have been transformed. As Srila Prabhupada mentioned, see peace into happiness. So many people's life has transformed. Many suicide cases got stopped. Many people who would have been doing some other things which are very probably enter into a prison house and suffer many things which are not good, maybe doing those kind of things, but all are protected by taking up into Krishna consciousness. So many of the sins already we are suffering because of our sins, but Prabhupada has given this formula and a lifestyle. Actually, he has given people are talking today about lifestyle management. Prabhupada has given a best lifestyle, whether it is in terms of eating, sleeping, in every aspects of life. Bhagavad Gita also teaches, Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, how one should actually, sleep. Too much sleep is like make one lazy, and too less sleep is crazy. Srila Prabhupada said that. Similarly, too much eating, too less eating. So all this, how balancing life. People talk about balancing life. So very nicely it is there in Bhagavad Gita, and because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we could get all this information from the scriptures, because there are certain terms and things very difficult to understand what our scriptures are talking about. But Srila Prabhupada put it in simple English words, and it's not just English words, it's the words filled with devotion and love, compassion. So that's why when we read it, it touches our heart. So it's amazing. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we request everyone, if you do not have a copy of Your Ever Well-Wisher, please do get it and read it. If you have already read it, please get the bigger version of it, which is Leelamrita. Mind-blowing, super inspiring. Certainly do make a difference in our life, in our consciousness, in our everyday life, in our not only in our spiritual life, in our material life also, in our family life too. So please get this book and make a difference in your life. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So it's a very long session today, but it's very nice. It's a Janmashtami, good reflection for all of us to go back and think on these lines. And we can even share this later. You can go through again peacefully. And let's all get inspired and then do something in the Srila Prabhupada Vyasa Puja. The appearance day of the Acharya is called as a Vyasa Puja. Very special day. So let's gift something wonderful to Srila Prabhupada. Let's give something wonderful to Sri Krishna. So if we gift it to Srila Prabhupada himself, that's a gift to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, Krishna will be very pleased. So let's think on those lines and see what we can do. So thank you very much. And then we will see you. So this week is full of festivity, starting from 19th, even the day before. And then 19th Janmashtami, 20th Nandotsav Srila Prabhupada appearance day. And appearance day, we can go to the temples, half a day fasting. But that night we will have a Zoom call where we will be reading homages, sharing realizations. So please do not miss. We will share the information soon. And 21st, also there is a celebration in Bhaktivedanta Manor in the weekend. So it's a wonderful time to take many more of our friends and family, to this festival and give them an opportunity to get that blessing from Krishna. Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Tanigivel Prabhu, is there any other announcements there today?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, sorry, Vivek Prabhu, yes.
So, the announcement, as you mentioned, we have full of festival this weekend. Yes. So first announcement is that we have festival on 19th. So especially we need volunteers for Soho festival. We have enough volunteers for Manor because Manor has scheduled one training and many devotee couldn't do it. So that is one of the criteria for servicing in Manor. So those who are not doing any service in Manor, they can head towards the Soho on 19th, and they need a lot of volunteers. So we will start publishing the list of volunteers for 19th. On 20th, as Mataji said, it's the Vyas Puja, so we will have a Zoom call in the evening, and so I will publish all the details. So and it will be very nice homage to Srila Prabhupada, and it will be from maybe you can say 6 to 5:30 or 6. We will start with Kirtan, and then we will have homage to Srila Prabhupada, and then we will show some video related to him, and then we will do the Guru Puja. So this is the evening plan for the 20th and 21. As you know, Bhaktivedanta Manor is extending part 2 of Janmashtami. So there you can go and enjoy the festival. So now we can see Jagannath. Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra.
Yeah, it's the Balram appearance day dress, sponsored by Manish Prabhu Jyoti Sri Mataji family. All are in blue. Very bold. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Chakra ki jai. Shri Gornitai ki jai. Shri Panchatattva ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So thank you very much, Prabhu, and thank you all devotees. Let's all get ready for the festivals coming up soon. We will meet you there in person. Thank you very much. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Mataji, thank you.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.